Hi and welcome. I'm so happy that you are here for this reading. This is timeless, and if you were listening to it, trust that it was meant to find you and you were meant to find it. I am so grateful that I get to be one of the people that helps guide you and your spirit and your soul. I have been hearing pretty clearly for the last few days the phrase, the proof is in the pudding, and I haven't known what to do with it. I've just been sitting on it, and that's because I had to discern whether this was for me or the collective, and spoiler, it's for both. So I'm definitely going through some things where I've needed this reminder. But even as I've processed my stuff, it's becoming clear that there is a greater message here. So I am going to just get into it. I actually really liked the way my last reading went, where I came on with a little bit of a guide and I had that phrase in mind, but sort of let the reading unfold. So I'm going to try that again today and see if this resonates more. I think sometimes when I go about it this way, it might take us a little longer to get to the core, but I do really appreciate the insights that pop up. So, and this one is a little less because I've had a couple of days to sit with it, but I am really getting a group, a collective that thinks they need more confirmation or wants more confirmation about something, and the proof is in the pudding is the phrase that jumps out at me. And so it sounds like you either have what you need or soon will be receiving what you need, but there is this ask or call or guidance to stop continuously looking and see what's in front of you, or stop looking for new things and see the proof that is in front of you. This could relate to so many different aspects, but there are a couple of things that I'm feeling the most strongly about. I'm seeing, purpose, direction, career direction, something of that sort, where you are waiting for confirmation to see if something is the right opportunity, if something is taking you in the right direction, and whether it is or it isn't, the confirmation is there and the answer is there in front of you already. And it is up to you to look and see, right, what that proof is showing you and be really, really honest. I think this is an ask to be really honest and look within and around and see what is right in front of you, what is existing, but you have the tools to understand where something should go. I'm seeing somebody like sitting down and journaling. So that doesn't mean that you don't have anything else to process, but it does mean that you have what you need in order to process. But what's coming through most strongly is something related to a person or a social dynamic or something of the sort. It could be romantic. I think that is people like hearing that. People want confirmation or, support for a person in that regard. And it could be that is not the strongest thing that I am seeing. I'm seeing something different than, or I shouldn't say that. For a lot of you, I'm seeing something that is not just romance. So if it is a romantic partner, it's somebody that you have a relationship with outside of some sort of romantic partnership. So it could be something that started as a friendship, something that, you have a relationship outside of that, someone that you know from a different part of life, connected through mutual friends, something like that. Like there is a connection that's not just this romantic side, family ties, right? Those deep, like people that you've known for so long. And then I'm also hearing really strongly the phrase chosen family. So something with like a deep friendship, someone that you've chosen to bring into your life, that has chosen you in their life, that is this person you've walked through life with at various stages. And something here is shifting. So I'm kind of getting the sense of someone who's been in your life for a while. And there's a couple of scenarios. There's one where maybe you are not in contact with this person right now anymore, for whatever reason. I don't want to say falling out because it's not like this dramatic event, but it could even be like a casual, oh, we've lost touch. But at some point, this person was really like deeply meaningful to you. I'm also seeing like a childhood friend where you've had each other's backs for so long, but there is this sort of natural drifting apart that you are starting to feel. So when you spend time with them, it's not quite the same as it used to be. And the thread that I'm seeing throughout all of these different types of relationships is that there is an expectation that you have for how this person acts and behaves, whether or not you have communicated it. There is a way that you want them to interact with you, and you are looking for them to do something, to say something, to reach out, if it's a connection that you've sort of stopped talking to see you differently, to just be who they used to be, or support you in the way they used to support you, or something like that. And the piece about proof, right? The proof being in the pudding is they've already shown you who they are capable of being. They have shown you everything and what they've already done up until this point, or maybe there's one final thing you're waiting for, and what they will do. That is confirmation that you have what you need to sort of decide where you want to take this friendship or relationship or whatever it may be, what sort of conversations need to be had, and whether or not this person has the capacity to be who you need them to be, and whether you have the capacity to either take them as they are now or not. And I think that either all of those options are okay, but there is a group of you that sort of knows a hard truth, perhaps, that this person is not reaching those expectations, is not there for you like they used to be, is not reaching out, and you've given them a lot. You've given them a lot of chances, and I'm hearing like, don't let someone that doesn't see you get in your way or cloud your vision, right? If they don't see you, you should not be seeing them so clearly, or I don't know, I sort of just like, I get this very specific vision of somebody waiting backstage to go on stage, and there's sort of this phrasing, if you've ever performed, where if you can see the audience can see you, and you're peering behind the curtain and trying to get a glimpse of the audience, and you can maybe see someone's foot or a knee, but you can't really see the person you're looking for in the audience, and they can't see you at all. I don't know where that came from or what that really means, but yeah, I'm sort of seeing like this message of you knowing your worth, you knowing what you deserve, and and this relationship was so deep that it wasn't something that you were willing to just give up at first sign of trouble, right? And maybe there have been conversations, and there have been promises of, oh, I will get better. I'm so sorry, right? But that hasn't happened, perhaps, or perhaps it has happened. And what I think what the message really is whatever you're seeing, take that at face value. That is the proof in the pudding right there. Because if you keep looking for that confirmation and keep giving them another chance to reach out and keep, well, hold on. Mother's Day just came in. So maybe either you are a mother or they are a mother, or there was maybe some sort of connection having to do with Mother's Day that maybe happened or didn't happen. So that could have been a pivotal moment for you realizing things. I think the message is you have what you need to make your decisions. If this is related to a person, stop waiting for them to do something else, because they've given you everything that they will. You have the information you need, and it's up to you to decide where you want to go from this. So if this is like a deep relationship, something long-standing, again, that chosen family phrasing is coming to mind, and there's a way that this person isn't showing up. You do get to decide whether or not you can tolerate that, right? This isn't saying outcast everybody that is showing you they can't show up for you in the way you want. You deserve to be seen in the way you want to be seen, but there is this sort of acknowledgement of autonomy, and we can all decide what we have tolerance for in other people. And sometimes these long relationships can test us in ways that others don't, because we have a lot of hope. We remember who this person was, who we were in relation to them. And as we grow and evolve, it's really hard to let go of those things. So this isn't saying that you have to be ready to let go of something. This does not mean that you have to be ready for that level of separation. But if you are not, you are choosing a certain path despite a truth that is in front of you. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to be honest. Okay, is that it? Let's see. I'm just hearing chosen family over and over. So that does not mean that this is only about a chosen family, right? This still could have to do with a romantic connection, a family connection. But this also does acknowledge that, it's really hard to, quote, break up with family. If you do that, it's usually one person deciding to go no contact or something like that after a lot of boundary setting and whatnot. Those relationships are really worked through. A romantic breakup relationship often has a clean breakup, right? Maybe not, but it is sort of, this idea that when that gets put to an end, whether or not you revisit it over time, there is sort of this clean closure. This sort of chosen family is tough because there often isn't the same level of closure or clean break, and you are grappling with that. And I just want to, and the message I'm getting is to affirm that is hard, that is uncomfortable, and it is one of those things that doesn't have a guidebook or a ton of stuff written about. So whether chosen family resonates, that could be something else, but that's coming in strongly. So yeah, I think that is the message today. You have what you need. Whatever is coming through, whether it is this very specific example of a relationship that I'm seeing, another type of relationship, an opportunity, you've got what you need, and it's time to decide or act or take what's in front of you and form your opinion and your feeling based off of that. Anything else that's coming in, more things might come in, and that's fine, but you don't need any of that. You don't need the confirmation. You don't need any more videos or whatever. Everything that you need to make your decision is within you, or it might not even be a decision. It's just the truth. The truth is in front of you. It's up to you whether it's time to see it or not, but you don't need anything else to know that truth. I think that is where I will leave this one today. I'm actually going to pull a card. I'm seeing my tarot deck in my head and have been asked to pull a card. So let's see what we have today. Oop. Okay, a bunch fell out. I am not going to go through all of these. No, but King of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles are the top two. Reversed, the Emperor's there, reversed. 8 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. Sorry, I had to stop recording. I decided to pull a card and then 6 cards jumped out and I was like, I'm not taking all of those. And then it was like very clearly heard, no, take all of those. And so I just needed to like meditate and do like a very light journaling. So I'm hearing to sort of take these 3 and then the next 3. So the first 3 are the King of Pentacles reversed, the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and the Emperor reversed. So to me, this points to a foundation that was once very solid that is no longer solid. Something is collapsing, something is presenting as structured and reliable, but there is some sort of mass coming off. You are now seeing this. It definitely matters of the physical. So it's sort of, again, it's kind of still touching on this idea that like it's all right in front of you. What you need is there. There's like something that presents as stable, established and nurturing, but that, yeah, it's just not holding up for you anymore. Maybe there's, I kind of am getting this like this lemon analogy. So, you know, when you buy a car and it looks great on the outside, but it's crappy on the inside, it's a lemon. So there might be a lemon in your life of something that looks good on paper, but there's just something misaligned there. But there's also something or someone isn't delivering. And again, proof is in the pudding. It makes me think you know that. The next 3 cards I pulled, the 8 of Swords, the 9 of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. So the 8 of Swords, despite seeing clearly, perhaps, that whatever in your life that you're looking for answers for like isn't delivering, this 8 of Swords is really pointing to you are stuck. You're still looking for more. But I mean, if you look at the 8 of Swords card, many of you will know this imagery I'm sensing. It is a woman standing surrounded by 8 swords and she is blindfolded. So it's almost like you know what's surrounding you, and maybe up until this point, it's been really difficult to face the music. I don't know why all of these idioms are coming to me today, but that is there. And so if only you were to take the blindfold off, you would see that you are surrounded by these sort of swords that do sometimes have this sort of trapped energy, but it does sound like it's a lot of your own mental loops. And if you can find the strength to take that blindfold off, you'll be able to see the situation for as it presents. The 9 of Pentacles shows what happens after you take that blindfold off. So you have what you need to be self-sufficient. You have what you need to build the life you want. If there is one card in this reading that says the proof is in the pudding, this is it. The situation is unfolded, and wherever you go next, you've got that inner authority to guide you. And then the last card, the Queen of Wands, this is showing that your confidence might be wavering, right? So it's like, even though, yeah, you can see what's happening clearly, well, you will be able to once you take off your blindfold, right? There's some sort of story unfolding very clearly. You've got this blindfold on, take it off, and you will be able to see it for the truth it is, and know that wherever you go is right for you. You have what you need to sort of guide it, but that your confidence might waver a little bit. It's sort of, I'm getting this like lukewarm is the word I'm hearing. Like you might be feeling lukewarm about the situation. So even though you can see the truth in front of you and you know you can get through it, it's almost like you're kind of like, oh, I don't really want to, right? So that points to that idea, like you don't have to. You get to make your own decisions here. It's okay if you're not feeling super confident. That's sort of to be expected. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and you get to decide. You have the authority to decide where you want to go next. And I'm almost hearing like maybe you are someone who confidence is often one of the ways in which your intuition tells you you are on the right track. And so this sort of like feeling, your confidence being a little rattled or wavering, feels strange. And I'm hearing that is actually your confirmation. Like if you see this truth and you're feeling a little lukewarm, that could be confirmation. I hear a lot of people say if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. I can't remember who to credit with this, but there's someone who has this sort of no sevens theory. So they won't say yes if something is, they would rate something as 7 out of 10. To them, that's a no. And maybe you've been saying yes to like 6s and 5s, and this is saying only say yes to the 8s and above. And so take that lukewarm feeling. And if you were, this sort of situation is giving you that lukewarm 5, 6, even 7, treat that as a no. I have no idea if that made sense. I'm going to take another minute and then potentially close out. I'm hearing be positive, and I don't know if that is spirit telling me to be positive or to acknowledge that this isn't the most resolved reading telling you one thing or another. It's not saying that things are doomed, but it's also not saying that sunshine and rainbows are up ahead. I've said this before, but I'm not the reader that is going to tell you that blessings are coming on a cart just for you. I know that can be hard to hear. I deal more in the grounded, like realness of things. I'm a realist, I think. So be positive. This is ultimately positive, right? It's going to be hard, but it's good. It's really great to be able to see everything that you need to see in front of you. And if you're able to work through that, that's a really great thing. That's one thing I'm hearing. And one last thing I'm hearing, it's like, but are we sure? And the answer, it's like, I can hear you asking, like, are you sure? Am I sure? Are we sure? And the truth has been served. So yes, you are sure. You get to decide what you do with the pudding and all of its proof. Do you eat it? Do you put it in the fridge? Do you freeze it and save it for later? I cannot answer those questions for you. And just as I was about to sign off, I looked down at my chair and the Page of Pentacles was sitting there. So this is our clarifier, like so clearly. This is the student and messenger all in one. The Page of Pentacles, I always see like holding that coin, being curious and deliberate and ready and grounded. Like this is such a grounded energy. I know we're deep in Taurus season, and that's so this is where you are. And I think this is asking you to approach this with that grounded energy. Feel free to examine, right? And look at the data you have. You have your evidence, you have the foundation, you can see where things are starting to expose themselves. Take off that blindfold. But it's okay if you are still examining and you're not ready to strike. Just know that you don't need any more data. I'm seeing somebody like in a library with a cart of books, and they're about to do research and try to find all these answers in all of these books. You don't need any more books. Take the books on your cart, go find a quiet place in the library, and let yourself examine. If that's what you need. I think that's very much okay. It's less of this reading is really less of it's time to decide, and more of you have what you need to sit with this. So obviously there is sort of a warning to not get too deep in these mental loops and study everything under a magnifying glass, but it's okay to be in this examination, studying phase if you're still there. At some point, though, the studying stops and the knowing begins. And so this is asking you to be discerning with when does the studying stop? When do you start knowing? and when do you take what you know and sort of start to put one foot in front of the other. So that feels very clarifying. This went on much longer than I expected. I was not expecting to pull 7 cards, but here we are. Thank you all so much for being here. I will put the list of cards in the description because I know I went through them quickly. I was just a little bit like frazzled. And like that all happened in reading. If anything else comes out sometimes, especially when I do a reading like this where I don't have time to collect my thoughts beforehand, I will be on a walk or making my lunch or doing dishes and another thought will pop in. So if anything else pops up, I will likely leave it in the description. But again, thank you all so much for being here. Know that you know what you know. Know that you know what you know. And we will chat soon. I have no idea if my microphone is picking this up, but there is just the sweetest cheap chirping bird. It's a lot of birds. I'm going to let this recording go for a little bit longer.